Okay, this is just to document my Gibson ga-55 RVT and all the work that's been done on it. That's the back of the unit, monitor, speaker. Serial number A050967. The amp was in really bad shape. We now have fixed the tremolo, fixed the output circuit, fixed the power supply, etc., etc. And learned a few things during this while working on this amp and on Gibsons in general. One, they do the reverb and the tremolo a little bit different, which gave me some headaches, but we finally got it going. And to make a long story short, what you have to do in this particular unit, if you get one of these, is definitely change out the filter caps because they're really old. Add a bias pot so you can really balance out everything and get it separate, right? Change out all the caps. I ended up changing out some diodes because the ones that were in there were pretty stressed. There's two large diodes here, and there's one over here. What's on the minus? Also, because this is a very old amp, my HV circuits, all my high voltage circuits were too high by like 50 volts. So what I did was I put in some 12 volt Zeners on a little bitty card right here. Hopefully you can see that. And that basically just drops the B plus down. It goes in the ground center tap of the transformer and drops the voltage down back to the normal outputs. Everything runs a lot cooler and it really settled down a lot of the squeaking and squealing. In addition to that problem, like I said, I had a problem with the reverb pan, but we fixed that. Problem with the cable. Had a problem with the foot switch and the way that it's connected, which you can see down here at the very bottom is a little connector. Also, I had a chirping sound and a squealing sound that would come and go. And come to find out, the tremolo circuit really kind of gates or mutes the reverb circuit. And if the right light bulb, the little LDR, light dependent resistor like this one, which is a replacement one, I don't have the other one, and the original light that was in here, incandescent bulb, if those aren't working right, that photocell actually puts a load across the reverb channel and kind of pulls down or squeezes down the output of the reverb channel. So it kind of throws a, I don't know, 1 meg down to about 50 k ohm of attenuation right between the two filtering caps, right between the two coupling caps in the reverb circuit. So what that does is, and I'll show you on the schematic a little close here. So what that does is, whenever this resistor, this varistor here, this CD, LCDR, LDR goes over here and goes up between these two caps, it basically just pulls that signal down and kills the front end. So what I had to end up doing was I had to put in a photocell, and then I had to put a little extra resistance in there just so that I could still get full volume out of the reverb channel, but still get the right kind of modulation and stuff with the tremolo. Another benefit of that is that the reverb used to be real deep and not controllable, and now I can actually operate the reverb. You can see here, I think it's set on what, 4? Yeah, that's with it off. And that's just the reverb. Here's the tremolo. Set on 4. You should be able to hear that. It's my 12-inch speaker, test speaker. And I can turn off the reverb, so you can just hear just a tremolo. And you can see that you do have quite a range adjustable for it. To turn off the tremolo, and if I turn the reverb up, turn it back on, you hear a real wet sound. But if you go way up on the reverb, the volume comes up, and it's too much reverb. So most time I'd play this on about 3 to 7, 3 to 5, something like that. The last thing that can happen, it can make a chirping sound, like when the tremolo's on, like this. What I was getting was a modulation like you hear, but I was also getting a sound, and that was because of the voltage that's set with this 500 ohm resistor, which is in the next to last stage of the tremolo circuit right here. This one right here. And that's supposed to be set for about 2.4 volts across the cathode. If that's set wrong, you'll overdrive this thing and basically just make it go into oscillation. I could still have some bad caps, but I think in reality it just all needed adjustment. And again, just so you can see, there's those diodes that I put in to drop the high voltage down, and those basically were just stuck in right here, excuse me, right here in the center tap to ground. Okay, is where I added it. And I think I also put in a bias pot. I think it was 15K that I stuck in, and just stuck that in and made it a bias pot. So anyway, also by putting in those Zehners, I was able to get all the voltages down to where they're supposed to be. When I first started, like, the A voltage was 244. Excuse me, it was even higher. The B voltage was 260, and I had to get it down to 225. And the 150 was a little hot, and that was making the V7 tube kind of work and go on and off and kind of go crazy. That's a OA2 rectifier. So that's it. This is a 1965 Gibson RVT, and they made them in 65 to 67. And you do not want to put in just a plain 6L6 in these, because they can't take the high voltage. I was getting over 500 volts before I started. So you always want to use a 6L6 GC in this particular amp. A lot of fun to work on. Don't know if I'm going to keep it, but you know, it really does have a sweet sound. I think a lot more versatile than a twin. Okay, had a lot of fun putting this thing back together, and I don't do great work, but I just get it all functional. There's my rebuilt tremolo deal. It's got a photo cell on this side and an LED with a 470 ohm resistor, I think in series, goes to where these two red wires were, and the green wires up here are where the photo cell go. And again, I had to put like another 16K in series to make it so it didn't cut the volume all the way off, just to kind of fine tune the circuit. And if you get any chirping, or the tremolo is still not quite right, depending on your high voltage, you may have to go back in and check and adjust the tremolo bias on that one tube that's on the schematic. Okay, hope you guys enjoy it, and this thing sounds really good. Let me see if I can hit a few notes just to see. Let's see here. This is with reverb and tremolo. This is just reverb. There's plenty of chime when you want it. In fact, this is if I had tremolo. Turn off the tremolo. Turn on the reverb, which is set on 5. Put them both together, and it's kind of crazy.